Do you ever wonder how we survived as children with all the garbage we ate? Like, I'm talking Pop Tarts, Pop Rocks, Ring Pops. Why was everything about pop? But eating all that sugar and processed goodness wasn't all for nothing. In fact, today I'm going to share with you a lesson I learned from one of my favorite childhood cereals, and that cereal is Lucky Charms. I loved Lucky Charms growing up. I mean, it's pretty hard not to when it's filled with sugar, fun shapes, and colors galore. Oh, and don't forget the funny little leprechaun man. The thing that always confused me about this leprechaun character is he was always talking about how magical and wonderful his cereal was, right? So why then was he always running away from the kids that desired what he had?
Uh-oh, those kids that have to be Lucky Charms.
If it was so magical after all, wouldn't he want to share it with everyone else? Now, obviously, when I was a kid, my focus was just eating the cereal and getting out the door to go to school. But as an adult and life coach, it's only natural that I make an analogy for a vital life lesson using a childhood cereal. If you're not familiar with Lucky Charms cereal, it's basically consistent of two main parts. There are the regular oats and then there are the marshmallows. So the oats are plain in color and no fun shapes. There's really nothing special about them. They were the, dare I say, nutritional part of the cereal. Now, the marshmallows, on the other hand, these were the fun part of the cereal that everyone cared about. That's all the leprechaun and the kids chasing him cared about too.
He's got all those marshmallows. Yeah, in 8 magical shapes and colors. Let's get them.
The marshmallows were full of sugar, basically food coloring and sugar, super colorful and all different shapes like stars, hearts, and moons. Looking at the oats to marshmallow ratio, there was definitely more oats. If the cereal was just oats, kids wouldn't like it as much, but the marshmallows really were the selling point. And they couldn't have the cereal be only marshmallows, otherwise there wouldn't be any nutritional value. There were a couple of techniques to eating this cereal. You had a couple of options. You could eat the spoonfuls of marshmallows and oats together in one bite, or you could eat them separately. I figured out this part early on. I discovered that if I ate all the marshmallows first, then I would be left to suffer the rest of my breakfast experience with this soggy plain oats mixture. So then what I started doing instead was eating the oats first. This allowed me to get through the less than exciting part of eating the cereal, and then I could enjoy the goodness of my sacrifice of having the delicious marshmallows one by one all the way until the end.
You're amazing.
Now you might be asking what this has to do with anything coaching or meal planning related. Well, the lesson that I'm drawing from this experience I had growing up is this. Sometimes in life, it makes sense to save the marshmallows until last. We have to do what is good and nutritional for us first so we can enjoy the goodness after. Just like the cereal, life has two parts, the good and the bad, the great and the not so great. We don't get to just have all the marshmallows, and that's what makes the whole thing come together. Without the oats, we don't appreciate the marshmallows as much. They balance each other out and give the other meaning and contrast. One serves to be pleasure, the other nutrition. And I know it's a stretch, but it's enough to make this analogy relevant. Often when we're thinking about cooking or meal planning or doing whatever's necessary to get the results that we want in our lives, we want to try to find these shortcuts or ways to only experience the good stuff, the marshmallows. That can be a problem. If you just order takeout multiple times a week because you believe it's easier than planning your meals ahead of time, you will end up overspending and not eating within your values and eating the oats later. If you eat the oats first by taking 10 to 15 minutes of meal planning once a week, then you could enjoy the marshmallows of cruising through the week, having everything that you need for your meals. So the next time that you are asking yourself if you are trying to skip the discomfort to rush to your result, I want you to ask yourself if you're really getting what you desire. Are you experiencing the short-term pleasure, but then still stuck with those oats after? What if you save those marshmallows until last? Delayed that gratification for the best part of the cereal until last. There are days that meal planning feels really hard to do. I might be tired or just don't feel like doing it. But I remind myself what the discomfort of following through will bring. I'll get to enjoy the ease and flow of having my meals all ready to go for the week ahead. I know I won't have to run to the grocery store multiple times a week because I don't have the ingredients I thought I had. I'll be eating foods in line with my values and health goals. I won't be spending more time and money and energy in the grocery store than I need to. There are days that I don't really feel like cooking. I'll tell myself I'll just order something out or I'll eat some snack food. But then I remind myself that preparing food means that I am not going to let those ingredients go to waste. The food will be more wholesome and cheaper than anything I would order out. And I'll get to listen to my favorite podcast or show on Netflix while I'm cooking the meal. When I don't feel like cleaning and would rather leave the dishes until tomorrow, I remind myself that I can appreciate the marshmallows of having a clean kitchen when I wake up the next day. Now, if you're ready to eat those oats and have the meal planning system of your dream, I've got your back. Not only do I have all the tools that you need for the how-tos of meal planning, but I will get you on the fast track to success with the most important part of meal planning, or any goal for that matter, managing your mind. So if you're ready to get started, head over to katiereedcoaching.com or check the link out in the description. I cannot wait for you to let this work change your life.